Tuesday Night Baseball from the Coliseum. The A's will try to bounce back after a tough loss last night, and they'll send veteran left-hander Brett Anderson to the mound. It is Game 2 of the 3-game series. It's the Oakland A's and the Kansas City Royals coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Brett Anderson with a career-high 12 wins this year. He has stayed healthy. He has not missed a start this year, Ray, and he's been everything the A's had hoped for and more when they signed him.
And the one thing he did against the Houston Astros, he kept the ball down. That's the key for Brett Anderson. He's a great ground ball pitcher. Against the Astros, he had a lot of movement on his pitches right there. Pitch away. Check this one out. Just keeps going down. If he pitches down in the zone, he can get strikeouts. He can get ground ball outs. That is the most important thing for Brett Anderson. He went 5 innings. Luzardo pitched 3. Liam Hendricks got the save. But for Brett Anderson, keeping the ball down, because for a while he was elevating all of his pitches, and that's not good for a ground ball pitcher.
Well, if the A's make it to the postseason, it's going to be very interesting to see how the bullpen lines up. For more on that, let's head downstairs to Dallas Braden.
Well, and that's what September provides, guys, is an opportunity right now for some arms down there in that bullpen to sort of reveal themselves, maybe in a fashion that we haven't quite seen with some consistency. You remember last year and what this bullpen meant. It was a pillar of absolute success for this club. Moving on into the postseason race right now, you're going to need to start figuring out guys that can hold the rope, if you will, kind of hold water. Remember, this is a group who has had some individuals find themselves in some different roles right now. Liam Hendricks, who has slid nicely into that closer's job. So it's really about nailing it down here come crunch time towards the end of the season.
All right, thanks, Dallas. The A's had their 6-game winning streak snapped last night. They'll try to start a new streak tonight. They will take on the young right-hander Jorge Lopez for the Kansas City Royals. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back. It's the A's and the Royals, Game 2 of the series. It's open, 7 degrees, and it's breezy. Wind gusts of 20 miles an hour. Game 2 of the series between the A's and the Kansas City Royals. Here's the Royals starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It starts with the Major League's hit leader, Whit Merrifield, and then Mondesi, Soler, 45 home runs, Dozier, Gordon, McBroom, he's in right field, Cuthbert is the first baseman, Bubba Starling is in center, Nick Dini is the catcher.
And as we mentioned in our open about Brett Anderson keeping the ball down, he last faced the Royals in 2017, so he is seeing them, and if he keeps the ball down, ground balls, that should be him, because a lot of double figures in ground balls for him throughout the season. Let's hope that continues tonight. Keep the ball down, take your chances.
So Whit Merrifield steps in, and Anderson kicks and deals. The first pitch of the game is up and away.
First pitch.
Well, remember, guys, we talked about it last night, the top of this lineup here. Some bat-to-ball skills, some guys that can be pests.
And Merrifield is one of those guys. It looks like the A's are going to get him this time, though, as Canna grabs it.
He does not wait around.
So 1 away here in the opening inning. And that'll bring up Adalberto Mondesi. A's defense tonight, Seth Brown is in left. Mark Canna in center, and Robbie Grossman is in right. Chapman, Simeon, Profar, and Olsen around the infield, with Josh Fegley doing the catching. So here is Mondesi. A big night last night for the young shortstop. Ryan Addington is calling balls and strikes. DJ Rayburn is at first. Crew chief Greg Gibson at second. CB Bucknor is down at third.
Fegley's been the catcher most of the time for Brett Anderson throughout this season. Murphy did catch him in his last start. See the A's skipper in the dugout.
How about that number? 10. That's the magic number for the A's to clinch a playoff spot. So write that down.
Down.
10. That's the key. It can only go down. It cannot go up.
But that's the number of Marcus Semien. He's had a great year, so maybe we'll go down to somebody else's number after tonight.
Center field and a base hit for Mondesi. That is his 4th hit in this series.
Well, we saw from the left side last night, hitting the ball down the left field line for a double. Tonight takes a curveball. See that's a curveball that I'd like to see to the back foot, thrown harder and not leave it towards the middle of the plate. It is hit usually very hard, like that one was.
Pitchcast is brought to you by Subway. So danger at the plate, danger on the bases. Soler with 45 home runs. And Mondesi with 39 stolen bases. Although the A's threw out Mondesi last night.
Well, that responsibility right now is going to rely on the man on the mound, Brett Anderson, the lefty. You've got that runner in your face, and Brett does a great job of what we call as left-handed pitchers hanging around, meaning you'll see that leg lift just kind of hanging. He's going to read to try to get a feel for what it is that Mondesi's going to do. Take you back to last night. Some loud noise off the bat of Soler, and he reminded everybody in his dugout just how strong he is. That's big boy territory out there. But again, mistakes up. Especially this year, the way the ball is playing, they don't come back very often.
1-1 to Soler.
And there you go. You get a shot of the read from Brett Anderson.
Most 440+ foot home runs this season. Soler has 10. Big Pete Alonso's got 10.
Yeah. That number 10.
Yeah. Hit hard towards second. Profar has it. Simeon on to first, and that is a 4-6-3 double play. So that's Brett Anderson's specialty. No score after half an inning. Grossman.
Jorge Lopez on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. He, of course, pitched in that game in which the A's scored a whole bunch of runs, like 19. But he is making the start, his 16th of the season. As Lopez with a record of 4-7. The A's need to bounce back after last night, and double play by Brett Anderson's a good start to this game for the Athletics.
So Marcus Simeon steps in against Jorge Lopez. Fastball 95 miles an hour, first strike.
2-4 seam fastball for the right-hander. He's got all the complementary pitches to go with it, in addition to a two-seamer.
Hey, it's Marcus Simeon's birthday today.
Yes, it is.
29 years old.
29 home runs as a leadoff hitter. That's that guy that, what's that guy, Ricky, number 24?
Shallow center. Starling in and over, and he's got it. Royals defensively have Gordon, Starling, and McBroom in the outfield. Dozier, Mondesi, Merrifield, Cuthbert on the infield. Nick Feeney is the catcher. So here's Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman at 249, 34 home runs and 85 RBIs. Hitless last night. Shallow right center. It's going to be a long run for McBroom. He has it.
Well, I want to show you guys something. We talk about Brett Anderson and how he's going to read and the speed in this lineup here. Brett hanging around and sort of reading. Mondesi is going to keep Mondesi at first base. You'll see here that doesn't allow him to get a big secondary, which keeps him closer to the bag. You can see him even leaning back, and that's going to make this 4-6-3 right here roll up about as easy as it can get. And that's taking pressure off your middle infielder. That's taking pressure off a lot of folks by controlling and essentially eliminating the running game over at first base. Wonderful job by Brett Anderson.
He's ready to go.
For him, there would be no breaks. Postseason breaks for him are horrible. He could go up and have a sandwich while he's waiting for him to come back.
One and one to Matt Olson, and now 1-2. 34 home runs, 85 RBIs for Olson. to go with his .272 batting average. A couple of hits last night, both doubles and a couple of RBIs. Since had a very good month of September. A's have played 15 games in September. Olsen has 7 homers and 17 RBIs.
Coming up big in big spots.
Yep. The A's 11-4 in the month of September.
One of the great things about what Matt Olson is doing is using the whole field. They're shifting him on the right side for ground balls, but his ability to hit the ball in the opposite field, the outfield playing him straight up.
Reach for that one, popped into foul territory. The shift is on, so that's Mondesi who heads over into foul territory, and he makes the catch. No score after 1 from the Coliseum.
Yeah, Dick Callahan said, "Where's your green?" Dick Callahan, his sweatshirt on, his sweater on with the Irish.
You know, Dick's a style master.
He
always looks good.
Yeah. He immediately said it's Irish heritage night. There's the man. Look at him. He's got his green on. Styling.
Oh,
Nice play. Good play early.
He even styled it up. Check him out at the end of the play, folks. Just kind of a little backhand, snow cone. Watch here. Yeah, that's right. Oh.
1-2 the count to Hunter Dozier. Dozier, 26 home runs and 82 runs batted in. Dozier also has 27 doubles and 9 triples.
Yeah, 9 triples. You think about the big K, the kind of real estate they've got to run around out there. Dozier is not a small fella. So for him to be able to take advantage of those gaps out there tells you what kind of an athlete he is.
Chops one toward Marcus Simeon. Dozier is retired.
Should have seen the K on artificial surface. Talk about some triples. Wow. If you didn't cut the ball off down in the left or right field corner, it didn't roll forever on the artificial warning track as well as the field.
Well, those Royals teams that you played against were all pretty good.
They were good, and they tailored their park around that, just like Whitey Herzog did with the Cardinals, and the Royals the same way, artificial surface, and they could run and run and run.
Want to know to Alex Gordon? 2-0 to Gordon. Gordon 1 for 3 last night.
That was a big one, as you will see right here against Jake Diekman. A couple of runners on second and third with 2 outs, and there's your breaking ball. And Gordon, as we mentioned last night, is not afraid of lefties. He's in the lineup every game, lefty or righty, and last night came through.
Sitting in a hitter's count here against Anderson, 3-1. And now 3-2. 13 home runs and 71 RBIs for Gordon. So Gordon, after a couple of real tough seasons, he has put together a good year.
Shaking his head with a fastball. Will he get another one? I mean, that's where really you pay attention to the swing. And while Alex Gordon is a good hitter, swinging through fastball, shaking his head, he could have been deking him or just saying, I can't believe I'm missing it.
Big bounce to Olsen. So that's 2 outs. So the ground ball working for Brett Anderson. That's always a good sign early.
4 ground ball outs. A double play last inning, 2 on the ground this inning.
Right fielder.
And the thing is, and we'll see, and just watching him elevate some of the pitches, and even the one to Mondesi hit, the breaking ball was up a little bit, hit it to center field. But when he's down in the zone and hitters hit on top of the ball, he's going to get a lot of ground ball outs, and that's a great way to keep the ball in the park.
Here's McBroom. Good curveball in first strike. That's what we're talking about with Brett Anderson. Ground ball percentage. He's the leader in the American League.
Well, I think it's fair to note that in this day and age, when we hear so much about guys trying to lift the baseball, trying to create a different attack angle, you can still make money by keeping balls on the ground. And as you said, Foss, keeping guys in the park. How do you do that? Ground ball rates. How do you maintain a certain level of efficiency out there within your body of work? Being able to roll up 2 outs with 1 pitch. Those happen via the ground ball. So Brett Anderson, a guy who's always been a great reader of swings, understanding why he's getting the outs he's getting.
Well, and Anderson, the most he has struck out in a start this year is 5, and he's done that twice.
That's right.
So he's not worried about punching people out.
Well, he understands the value of hanging around deeper into a ball game and what that can do for a club.
Gets one there. He'll take it. So that's his first strikeout. Bottom of the second coming up. It'll be Canna Brown. Day game tomorrow. Off Rangers come to town for the final 3 home games of the regular season. Final road trip, 2 in Anaheim, 4 in Seattle next week. So the A's with a couple of off days left this year. When we get through tomorrow, Ray, the A's will have played 16 consecutive days. So
That's it.
You ready for an off day?
Yeah.
Mark Canna, 24 home runs, 55 RBIs.
Yeah, I think players look at off days a little bit differently in today's game. And, you know, why not? It may enable a player to play longer or more with the off day because they factor that in as well. There's an off day. So, you know, Marcus Semien, I don't think he wants anything off as he continues to play.
Canna here. Aggressive. Fastball up, just tardy.
Now it's 3-1.
When I think as players really start to pay attention to how their bodies perform over the course of a full season, what these off days also allow these guys to do is figure out exactly how to rest their bodies. Again, refining a routine to get you through the whole season.
There's a base hit for Mark Canna. Good start for the A's here in the second inning.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do as approach. Work to count. 3-1, takes a curveball. 2-1, gets the fastball down, and instead of being too big with his swing, takes the base hit in the hole and gets the A's started with something here in the second inning. I think, again, going back to watching the players as we get to on a daily basis, you know, they're kind of unselfish and they almost take what is given to them. And sometimes a lot of singles put together is going to score a lot of runs.
Brown rolls it to the right side. Merrifield out at second, on to first, not in time. So fielder's choice.
Well, look where he's playing. And
look who takes the pivot.
yeah,
That's Dozier. So they leave Mondesi at his normal spot, the shortstop spot, which is probably a good idea, but it then forces the third baseman to be the pivot.
yeah. Well, Bat Chapman doesn't have a problem, and of course, usually if you're playing third base, you have a strong arm, and I think Dozier just showed that strong arm going 90 feet versus across the diamond.
So Brown, the base runner. Chris Davis now 22 homers and 71 RBIs. Clutch hit last night.
Well, just kind of touching on your point, Foss, about guys not trying to get too big in certain situations. Gets a little slider down, does KD, right back up through the box. And as we talk about guys kind of picking things up in big moments, though you haven't seen the power flash, Chris Davis continuing to put together good at-bats, maybe not the results that I think everyone's used to, but those come.
In the last 9 games, Chris Davis, 11 hits and 34 at-bats. That's a .324 average and 11 RBIs.
But I think that's a good indication of a guy who understands, you know what, at maybe some point in time I start to cut things down and just play the game.
Inside, 1-2 the count.
There's no doubt what a hot Chris Davis means to this lineup. There's no doubt what a hot KD means to the opponent. That's bad news.
I think we all realize KD's had 3 outstanding seasons with the Athletics, and going back to Milwaukee, really looking at 4. But you have 3, you're going to be put on notice in scouting reports, and maybe you're not going to get the pitches that you got before. And that's the adjustment you're talking about, to take what is given. Well, in Arlington, Texas, this is what KD did, left center. Of course, he loves Globe Life Park. He's going to love it. Globe Life Field. It doesn't matter. It's Texas. One in Houston, a couple of that game in Arlington.
See KD with 2 strikes, a little wider base. Those are things you'll see guys do. We've talked about KD and the hand movement, the hand placement. It's all about making those little adjustments that can eventually lead you back into that click mode where you're unconscious and just rolling the pole with authority.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So that's the first strikeout for Jorge Lopez.
Well, Lopez has the ability to compete within the strike zone. He's got the stuff. That's just the situation here. 95, come get it. Able to win the battle.
So 2 away. Brown the runner at first, and here's Jurickson Profar. Profar 1 for 4 last night. It was a triple. He could have been 2 for 4 with a home run.
Yeah.
Alex Gordon took a home run away from him early in the game last night.
I think we saw a double for the Royals and a triple for the A's. Gifts. Because probably should have been a single and a double. But yeah, Gordon did it. He knows how to play the outfield. A play he made in Kansas City, he made a play in left field in foul territory and threw home like he was throwing from third base to first base, and as a result got the runner to plate, but took some of his third base ability into the outfield.
Profar, mighty swing. So watch, this ball would have been out of the ballpark, we believe.
Just look at Profar's reaction. He knew he hit it well enough, but Gordon right there when he put his hand up over, watch right there. The ball didn't pop out because he closed his outfielder's glove. So when he hit the wall with his wrist, it didn't pop out. That's why he's won 6 Gold Gloves. He knows how to play. Can throw.
Too, if you see an outfielder have just enough time to put his hand on the wall, I think that helps him a lot. Then they know exactly where they're at.
Well, and it prevents them from getting close enough to the wall where we'll see guys try to elevate, and they'll elevate at an angle into the wall, taking away their ability to get above the top of the fence.
3-1 now to Jurickson. A's last night scored 5 runs on 10 hits. 5 of those 10 were extra bases. 2 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Three and 2 now.
The profile looked like he said, I'm going to get a fastball, and he loaded up, and ball is a pretty good pitch running in on him from the right-hander. Well, I think in certain situations, you might as well say he's going to throw me a fastball, be ready to hit it, and get out in front and be able to pull it the shortest distance instead of trying to go opposite field. Sure, it's cheating. It's looking fastball, but in 3-1, you have the ability to do that and the luxury of cheating on a particular pitch.
Runner goes. The ball's hit hard toward first. Cuthbert is right there. Steps on the bag, and that will do it. Hit and a runner left. 3rd inning coming is beyond Wi-Fi. X5. No score. 3rd inning. It'll be Cuthbert, Starling, and then the catcher, Dini. Line drive, base hit, right field. Leadoff man aboard.
Just an elevated fastball and a little bit late on the swing, and Cuthbert able to go to the opposite field. A little bit of a hitch in his swing right there. Kind of takes his bat towards the pitcher, so he's going to be a little tardy coming through the strike zone. But it worked out well with a shot to right field. They call it wrapping the bat. When you wrap the bat, it's tough to get it back through unless you're extremely strong, which these guys are.
Well, an early contact is something that Brett Anderson is familiar with, and whether or not that hitter is back in the dugout or on first base, 3 or 4 pitches or less.
Marcus has it. Out at second. Profar's throw to first. Not in time. Sounded like Starling hit that ball right off the end of the bat.
Yes, it did.
Well, he sure did, and this was the point I was making, is he'll get you out of there 3 pitches or less one way or another. You're right, just off the cup. Big fella unable to stretch out quite far enough. Hustling Bubba Starling, going to beat out the throw. But a good job again by Brett Anderson. Fill that strike zone up early and often. Let the defense work behind you. I mean, you've got Gold Glove caliber defenders all around you. Why not put them to use?
Here's Daney, the catcher, and he goes after the first pitch and hits one well to center. Canna's going back. Canna, a couple feet onto the warning track. Starling tags. Starling trying for second, and he's in there. So with that being the second out, pretty good move by Starling. Give it a shot.
Well, once he saw the ball was going to stay in the park, he goes halfway, and then you can see him really running right there. He starts to come back once he sees Canna under it, and he knows Canna's going to have to make his strong throw, which he does a little bit offline, but Starling also has pretty good speed. If that ball is on the bag, Zane's back, and then immediately, no hesitation, went straight for the bag. Pop-up slide. So throw on the bag by Canna. Might have been a little bit closer, but good hustle by Starling to take advantage of a ball that he knew was going to stay in the park.
So runner in scoring position for a tough out, Whit Merrifield. Let's look at the Jurickson Profar turn. We've talked a lot about it.
That front foot popped up awfully quickly.
It did. Yeah.
You know.
Used the bag to protect himself a little bit anyway.
Well, I still think if he could learn to come across the bag and throw across his body, he could protect himself even more. He gets hit a lot, and a lot of times he will not complete the double play because he does stand on the bag, allowing the runner just to really run in straight at it. And if he has a pop-up, it really got to get to the point where you take away the shot at first base, so you might as well cut him in half.
Merrifield takes a close pitch. Hey, the Indians won 7-2 over the Tigers. So we're watching that one, and the Rays just went up on the Dodgers 1-0 in the second inning. So the Indians beat the Tigers, the first of that 3-game series in Cleveland. Again, the final score is 7-2. So that tightens everything up a little bit more. A's with a 1-game lead for the #1 wild card. Rays second, and the Indians now 1 game back of the Rays for that second wild card.
Well, the number to look at is the loss column. The A's with 61, Indians 63. And of course, that's Indians total, but not the Athletics. But just like the magic number goes down, the losses, you want them to stay there, or I mean, they're not going to go down. It's going to stay, and you hope it stays where it is. In the case of the Athletics at 61.
And unfortunately for the Tribe, speaking of losses, Jason Kipnis gone with a hamate injury.
So he's out. Ramirez still out with the same injury. I guess they may get Jose Ramirez back.
Terry Francona talking about Corey Kluber. I thought he said, I don't want to go by the trainer's room. I don't want him to think that we want him to hurry up and come back. And they may be looking at him for next year, according to a recent article, recent comments by Tito Francona. That's a big loss.
Merrifield rolls it foul. So the Indians 88-63 with that win. 2 more games in that series at home. And then over the weekend, they will host the Phillies, a good Phillies team, although the Phillies looks like they're not going to make the postseason. So that's a disappointment in Philadelphia. But still a formidable lineup that the Indians will have to face over the weekend. Merrifield pops it up to shallow right. Profar is there, and he's got it. So runner stranded. We're going to the bottom of the 3rd. No score between the A's and the Royals. Comes a new comedy, Seaside, premiering Thursday, September 26th on NBC. It's good eats going on in that luxury suite. Slow down, guys. Yeah. Watch the game.
Hey, be careful, don't spill it.
You know, if that was inside the clubhouse, it would be called crushing the spread.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I think. Yeah.
Spread crusher.
But I will say it's a big spread to crush now, because it's not just your normal hot dogs and hamburgers. I mean, they're crushing big time.
So when you crush the spread, and the spread being the spread of food.
Yeah.
In your day, Ray, it wasn't a big deal. Now you can put on 6-7 pounds
in a month.
In a homestand.
I was thinking about a series.
Oh no.
Dallas, were you a spread crusher?
I was absolutely a post-game spread crusher, no doubt about it. Pre-game, not so much. I had other things going on, workouts and stuff. You've got places to be, but after a game, you bet your bottom dollar. Yeah, you get my way, you could be pulling back a bloody stump.
Well, now it's pre-game and then pre-game and then post-game.
Grabbed by Lopez. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So nice gesture by the Athletics. The Athletics pre-game ceremony, they honored the grounds crew.
And there they are, 5. Clay Wood, second from the left. Head groundskeeper, and you know, very much deserved. I'm glad they really got the attention that they do deserve, because the job they did, especially no sleep.
Well, they look better today. They look like they got a little sleep last night.
Yeah, I don't think folks truly understand or appreciate the manpower that goes into turning a football facility or of sorts back into the beautiful diamond that we get to play on, especially with Mother Nature rearing her head. She had other plans with the rain.
Yeah, the rain didn't help the situation at all.
You saw the ground crew, that's 5. When we head back east or Midwest, I love to mention Clay, because there's at least 30 that are out there holding the hose and breaking around. Clay has 5 that do all the work. And a great job. This field actually, compared to last night, looks pristine. That's what paint will do. They did a good job.
Well, and you want to get a feel for what kind of group this is. Talking about from in the clubhouse, down here on the field, field staff in general. Phil Pohl, bullpen catcher yesterday. nail drag in hand and was dragging the warning track.
I saw that.
Yeah.
The great Phil Pohl. All right, with 2 outs, it's time for T-Mobile's connection to the game. Major League history. How about this? Players in a season with the following: at least 116 runs, 173 hits, 38 doubles, 7 triples, 30 homers, 85 RBIs, 78 walks, 10 stolen bases. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Marcus Semien. Babe did it twice. Lou Gehrig did it twice. Marcus has done it once. So Marcus, you are on a list with Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
The Herm and the Iron Horse.
That's it.
Let's go.
I mean, really, what more? What more do you need?
Contract.
Of course, we could tell Marcus, say, hey, Marcus, they did it twice, though. Just, you know, motivation for 2020.
Foss, go ahead and say that again for the people in the back. Contract.
So that is going to be a 3-up, 3-down inning. So pretty good start so far for Jorge Lopez as we head to the 4th. Series at a game apiece. Mondesi, Soler, Dozier. Mondesi last night was 3 for 5. And he opened up this game for himself with a 1-out single in the 1st.
Brett Anderson's usually accustomed to having a lot of run support. Tonight, a scoreless game, which shows a lot about his ability to pitch regardless of the score.
I'd mentioned Brett's pedigree with his father, Frank, in the pitching mind.
Chapman. Mondesi is out.
This Friday, we begin our celebration of you, the fans, with the kickoff of Fan Appreciation Weekend. The weekend includes 2 bobblehead giveaways and a fireworks show, all for the best fans in baseball. Clear your weekend schedule, throw on your A's gear, and head to the ballpark to celebrate the final regular season homestand of 2019. Grab your tickets today by visiting athletics.com/tickets. Should be a great weekend of baseball, the final weekend here at the Coliseum.
And more action for Chapman. And that's 2 outs, 2 ground ball outs.
Well, if you could show the difference of those two, knowing the speed of Mondesi, then Soler. Against Mondesi, guided the ball through a bullet. Soler took a little bit off the throw, still had it there in plenty of time. But, you know, that's knowing your guys who are running, hitting and running, speed. Soler has his power. Mondesi definitely can get down the line.
So instead of throwing at 94, you throw at 98. Just get a little extra velocity.
Save it for when you need it.
Dozier grounded out to short in his first at bat. I would think if you're an infielder, Brett Anderson would be a lot of fun to play behind because he's a ground ball pitcher and he works fast. I mean, that's the 2 greatest things for an infielder.
Well, to stay on your toes for sure, and to be ready in the case of Chapman playing on the outfield grass because of his cannon that he is able to use.
Dallas, you were talking about his father.
Well, the mindset for Brett that he takes out there is something that he's had a very good grasp on since he was a young man. We hear a word, pitchability.
Canna is not going to get this one. He is able to cut it off with the bare hand. Dozier's going to try for 2. There's the throw, but it's just a touch late. And it's a 2-out double for Dozier.
But it's an idea that, and Foss, this is what's so great about the conversations you and I get to have is, one, I understand the value of a catcher taking on the responsibility of a game plan, having an idea of how they want to go about their business, knowing each individual hitter, not only in the starting lineup, but on the bench as well. For Brett Anderson, a guy who has understood the value in having a game plan yourself, knowing how you want to go out and go about your business, and that can pay dividends, especially to the point that we're making with guys behind him being prepared, utilizing the defense. He understands the value of getting everybody involved.
Here's Gordon. Royals had a runner at second and 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Could not get him home. They were 2 for 12 last night with runners in scoring position. Profar's got it on to first, and that'll do it. Dozier stranded at second. Bottom of the 4th coming up. No score. Well, here in the bottom of the 4th, Chapman, Olson, and Canna against Jorge Lopez. We haven't talked a whole lot about Lopez, but he's done a good job. A couple of strikeouts, and he has allowed just 1 hit. Chapman with a shot into the glove of Hunter Dozier. 1 out, and with that, let's check in with Kara.
Hey guys, tomorrow the 3rd and final Hometown Hero t-shirt giveaway honoring none other than San Jose's own Mark Canna. Here's what he had to say about the game tomorrow.
I got a lot of family coming out to come get their shirt, and I love it. I think it looks great. It's a good shot of me hitting, which is, you know, I'm glad it's not me playing defense or something. Hitting's what I like to do. If my whole career stayed just like this for the rest of it, however long I go, I'm happy right where I'm at.
And Mark, I think we'd like it if your career stayed like this too, and right here in Oakland. But I do kind of wish that shirt had a little bat flip on it. He seems to be getting out of the flip recently, but hopefully that comes back in full force tomorrow and the rest of the home series this weekend. So great guy to honor tomorrow. I hope we all get our hands on an advance copy. It's a good looking shirt. Back to you guys.
All right, that's what's coming up tomorrow. Mark Canna, what a season. 24 home runs. Playing center field and hitting in the cleanup spot.
Well, what he said about glad it's hitting and not defense, what he's done, it's enabled him to play or to hit because of his defense, and to play right field, center field, and for Bob Melvin to be able to place him in center field and let Laureano come back off the IL and play right field. And Stephen Piscotty's there as well. So Mark Canna has done it on both sides of the baseball.
Inside corner, strike 3 called. Good pitch by Lopez.
A good, hard 2-seam, good late action. You can see Ole kind of flinch to get out of the way, but this thing's got some life on it. Working back over the black late. It's a pretty good pitch there by Lopez.
Lopez last 3 road starts. He's 3-0 with a 1.65 ERA. Royals like him a lot. Royals got him from the Milwaukee Brewers for Mike Moustakas last year at the trade deadline.
Ed Yost, the manager of the Kansas City Royals, is also with the Brewers as a catcher. Third base coach for Bobby Cox for many years.
Canna on the ground to short. Tough little hop for Mondesi. Throws across, and Jorge Lopez has retired 9 in a row. 5th inning coming up. No score.
Subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to stream live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
And that is line fair. Ryan McBroom rounds first. Ryan McBroom is going to get to second, and he's going to stop there. That's a leadoff double. So McBroom lines one the other way.
Well, the aggressiveness of the Kansas City Royals really hasn't wavered. And you've got a guy like Brett Anderson who's going to fill up the strike zone. We talked about it. No reason really to wait around. You're not too threatened by the potential strikeout scenario from Brett, but it's the ability to keep you off the barrel that I think can really press guys into action. So they figure if they get a pitch early in the count, they don't want to run the risk of not getting something hittable again.
Here's Chesler Cuthbert.
And he singled sharply to right field in his first at bat, which is what he's attempting to do now. At least hit the ball to the right side.
Well, and a good adjustment by Brett to go to the wrinkle there early.
Yeah.
Down and in. Starling to follow, and then Deeney. So 1-2 now to Chesler Cuthbert.
About 3 breaking balls in succession, and really, if Cuthbert does his job as far as the way he swings, probably going to pull the breaking ball, which is what Brett Anderson wants, as long as it's to one of his infielders. Keep the runner at second base if the ball is hit crisply enough to an infielder on the left side. That season high in ground ball outs is 16. That's against the Giants. He has 12 double-figure ground ball outs in his first 29 starts. He has 8 in the first 4 innings tonight.
Stays low, 2-2. Opponent's batting average against the Brett Anderson changeup, 244 this year. So improvement.
When as you go over those seasons for Brett Anderson, it's an evolution, right? Figuring out how to get outs in a different fashion than maybe you've been used to.
Center field, and that's going to be a base hit. McBroom had to make sure it fell, so he's going to go to third, and he's going to stop there. And now the Royals have first and third and nobody out.
Hanging breaking ball, and tried to go to the breaking ball and threw it again. This time, though, he left it up, and with 2 strikes, Cuthbert, who singled sharp in right field his first at bat, gets a hanger and hits it sharply to center field. And there's the runner who looked back. I mean, you get that far, you might as well just not even look and keep going. Might score. You get halfway and look back and the ball is caught, you're going to be doubled off anyway.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Here's Bubba Starling. Straightaway defense for the A's. Starling fouls it straight back. Rays leading the Dodgers 1-0, bottom of the third at Dodger Stadium. It's the first of a 2-game series. A little bit low. See Anderson just pounding the bottom part of the strike zone.
Which is good. But you know, one of the things that talked about trying to get the results 2 or 3 pitches, but if he were a big strikeout pitcher, this would be the perfect time to get one, and then maybe get the ground ball double play to get out of the inning. But that is not the case, and maybe right now the A's are hoping for a ground ball to get to and give up the 1 run.
One of the times you'll hear, you know, punch out pop up type scenario, and that's exactly where we're at here. You get that punch out, everybody stays in place, keep the double play in order. Second best result aside from a punch out is the weak infield pop fly. You'd love that.
Anything to keep the runners where they are.
Yes.
And he got him. Needed a big strikeout.
Well, for a non-strikeout pitcher, that's huge. And he goes fastball inside, ties up the hitter. And Starling couldn't make contact, and maybe by going hard with the 2 strikes versus soft, which he did with Cuthbert. And that's a huge strikeout. Now get double play and get back to the dugout. Make it a 10 spot. It's at number 10 again.
That's right.
10 ground ball outs if he can get the double play here.
Nick Deeney, the catcher, steps up. He had a fly ball to center field in the third. Lays off that pitch.
Well, that is such a big pitch from Brett Anderson there. Cutting the fastball in on the hands after some breaking balls. And what guys know about Brett is there's going to be a lot of movement to the arm side, a lot of movement to the bottom of the strike zone. So late in the count to crowd the righty there, that's a big pitch.
He rolls that one foul, so 1-1 the count. Chang picks it clean. He used to Rule foul ball alley just down to our left and right.
Now he's got a real job.
Now he's got a real job. Yeah. He's still hanging out at the ballpark, but he's working.
Yeah, if you're going to show up every day, we got something for you.
Hit to right field and hit well. Grossman hustling back. Grossman's going to get there. He makes the catch. McBroom will tag up. He will trot home. And the Royals take a 1-0 lead on Dini's sacrifice fly.
It's exactly what Dini's trying to do. See if he can maybe punch something through the hole on the right side. If not, lift, get it up and out to the outfield. Deep enough. Robbie Grossman kind of coasting back to the warning track. No shot to get it in time.
Got to give Dini some credit there. That was not a bad pitch. He was down a little bit even.
But his intent, it was successful, and that's to stay inside and go to the biggest part of the diamond. You like to see that with guys and a run at third base. And of course, for Brett Anderson, looking for the rollover to get the double play, but Dini did a good job.
So here's Whit Merrifield. Merrifield was 2 for 5 last night. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He leads the majors in hits, 195. He led the American League in hits last year, 192. So he's marching toward his first career 200 hit season.
About 5 away.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
And that'll make the, I believe, just the 8th time in organizational history that a player wearing a Royal uniform has hit that mark.
Grossman's there, and he's got it. So a run on a couple of hits and a sacrifice fly for the Royals. They lead 1-0. The collector's edition Matt Chapman cheer cards to the first 10,000 fans at the gate. And don't forget to swing by our authentic fan section by the treehouse. Cool prizes are awaiting you if you do that. And you get to hang out with our pre and post game guys right on the set. So 1-0. The Royals lead behind Jorge Lopez. He has a chance for a shutdown inning. Quick 0-2 to Seth Brown.
Well, we've seen Lopez tonight do a pretty good job of attacking the strike zone.
What can Brown do for you? That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Somebody's thinking.
Somebody's thinking about the A's bullpen getting loose.
Curve stays a little bit high. That would be A.J. Puck.
Yeah, see how Brown sold that. He took that curveball and said it's not a strike. A.J. Puck, and remember the game that Brett Anderson pitched in Houston. It was 5 innings and Luzardo 3. Brett Anderson's gone 5.
Take by Brown, holds up. Brown reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning. Davis to follow, and then Profar. .52 pitches for Lopez, so the pitch count's not bad. So 3-2 curveball.
Cap, we're seeing that so much. That's why it was impressive last night when Roark threw the fastball, is because it seems like A's hitters are getting an abundance of breaking pitches on 3 and 2. Almost the point you just have to look for it, which is hard to do. You want to be ready for a fastball. But man, I've never seen so many curve, slider, changeup on 3 and 2.
Just foul. That was a fastball, 95 miles an hour.
Remember the trip to New York, Aroldis Chapman.
Yep.
3-0 sliders. And I think anymore, when you start to realize what pitches guys can really do the damage on, I think you're starting to get a feel for some individuals who are doing away with, you know, the the hitter's counts and just thinking, I've got a pitch I can hit here. I'm going to swing.
Hit hard into right field, a base hit. So the A's, for the second time in this game, have their leadoff man aboard.
Well, it's nice when you hit it on artificial surface, because this ball was hit hard by Brown. And look where the defense is shading him. He's able to find the hole, which is surprising. But that's how hard the ball was hit by Brown on the 3-2 fastball. So he got a curveball, fastball, fastball. And no chance for Merrifield to be able to make the diving stop. That's how hard the ball was hit through the infield.
So here's Chris Davis. Chris Davis takes fastball running inside. Chris Davis struck out in the second, one of 3 strikeouts by Lopez. Missed again. Now it's 2-0. So, first meeting on the mound.
Well, first inning that the A's really doing something. And Yost, a former catcher and pretty good manager. Of course, when you coach third base for Bobby Cox, you can learn a lot.
That's true.
Coached him with him.
2-0 pitch, a curveball snaps in there for a strike. Good pitch by Lopez. Ned Yost got his 1,200th career win last night, so a nice milestone in his 10th season. He has what every manager wants, a World Series ring. Yep. Davis reaches for it, little pop-up, shallow right center. But Starling's going to come in and make the catch. Well, the Royals, they had a window. They knew they had a window. They had a young nucleus, came up together, took some lumps for a while, and then they hit their stride, went to the World Series in 14 and lost, and then came right back. And I thought that was impressive to me, that they got there in 14 and lost, but then came right back in 15 and won it. So they had their window, and they got a World Series.
They got a World Series, and they also had a bullpen. As Ned said, after the 6th inning, I could relax, because with the bullpen that they had, you just either tied or with the lead after 6, forget it. That's how good the bullpen of the Royals was.
They beat the Mets. That's it right there. Beat them in New York. 5 games. Well, they were a tough crew.
Yeah. Eric Hosmer scored from third on a ground ball to first base when, was it Duda? Didn't make the throw home accurately enough.
And there was no, I mean, the Royals knew what was going to happen with that group. They were not going to be able to sign everybody.
Right.
They were not going to be able to sign hardly anybody.
They signed Alex Gordon. That was it.
Yep.
The rest of them are gone.
And it just would not have. They just would not have been able to do it. Hosmer got big money. Kane did. Moustakis, actually, his situation a little bit different. He did not get what he was thought he was going to get. But I bring it up simply because we've seen teams, Ray, in the last 20 years where they have a window and they don't win.
That's right.
And you see how frustrating that is for organizations. I think the Tigers come to mind. They had really good teams. A's saw them in the postseason. They had a long window.
Yeah.
With a lot of talent and a lot of money spent, and they didn't win the World Series.
And Jeff Luhnow, the general manager of the Astros, says we want to extend our window. They won in 17, did in 18. They want to come back. There's Salvador Perez, who will be back next year. He's the catcher on those teams that you mentioned.
1 and 2 to Profar. But I think you look at the Rangers. They had a window. They went to the World Series back-to-back seasons. Had some really good teams. Could not get the ring. The Orioles had a good run.
Yeah. And it's really hard to do that because, like you said, if you win, you got to pay. Yep. And the Royals won at 15, and now with their 4 minor league teams that have had success this year. You see the 4 flags of the World Championships of the Athletics all played right here at the Coliseum.
But I think, I mean, you can look at the history of the A's. They had the window when you were playing, and they won big. They won 3.
And you know what? If Charlie Finley, let's say this, if Charlie Finley had agreed or at least adapted to free agency, that club could have kept going because Charlie didn't want to pay guys for free agency. And as a result, the club left. Everybody left and went different ways.
Profar strikes out.
It's a good curveball. And again, competing in the strike zone for Lopez. No doubt a strike if Profar doesn't swing, so forcing the action. And that takes confidence. Lopez has done a fine job tonight, just kind of staying 1 pitch ahead of folks.
So 2 away for Grossman. And he rolls it foul. But the A's had the window in the late 80s, early 90s. They won a World Series.
Right. Should have won more. That's the one thing those guys talk about. To go to the World Series 3 consecutive years and only win 1. They felt it was a disappointing period of time. But it's not that easy. And I'll be honest with you, in the A's in the 70s, it was winning the division, playing league championship for 5, and going to the World Series. They eliminate the division series. The league championship now is 7. And of course, if they're wild card, you got an extra game too.
A little bit more of a meat grinder, probably.
Oh yeah.
1-1 to Grossman.
Look how much we're talking about the wild card between now and a week from Sunday. and you know, for a while it was over.
You know what? They're talking about it in St. Petersburg,
That's
and they're talking about it in Cleveland, and they're talking about it in Chicago and Milwaukee.
That's right. It looks like A.J. Punk might be coming to the game. He is continuing to throw unless it's going to be for Brett Anderson batter to batter in the upcoming 6th inning. Yeah, they're checking on that. Ned Yost with his hand up.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Backside.
Tagged him on the right hip.
Yep.
I think he's out.
Yep. Well, it's a great tag zone for Lopez. A lot of times you'll see guys throw it at the chest of the first baseman, forcing the first baseman to have to apply the tag down. By that time, usually get a hand in there from the runner. You see where that ball is?
Yep.
I know we talk a lot about Javi Baez for the Chicago Cubs and how he lets the ball travel.
I didn't take long at all.
No, so he is indeed out, and that looked like the right call. So that's how the bottom of the 5th ends. Royals leading 1-0.
California is your #1 choice for tool and equipment rental with 19 stores to serve you in Northern California.
Beautiful look at the Bay Bridge. Right now the Royals leading the A's 1-0. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. A.J. Puk comes in. He's 1-0, 2.45 ERA. So he takes over here in the top of the 6th. And he'll face Mondesi, Soler, and Dozier. So taking over for Brett Anderson. Good fastball right by Mondesi. So Anderson goes 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and 66 pitches. One pops off the glove of Fegley. Rays still leading the Dodgers 1-0. Game in the top of the 4th.
Dodgers just like to win in the 9th.
Yeah, they're going to wait. They'll make us happy in the end.
I think they'd like to make all those people who leave early. Let them in the car. The Dodgers do it again, and all those people are
people that you can see their taillights when Gibson's ball went out of the ballpark.
Yeah. Come late, leave early.
Too late.
Yeah.
Another foul ball.
Now, Puck's last appearance was in Arlington, Texas, following J.B. Wendelken. The two of them, Wendelken 3 innings, Puck 2 innings, 15 consecutive batters, retired.
Did he go? No, almost.
I'll see how he did not. But he did. Great back control.
Big pitch here. The speedy Mondesi. Spoiled it.
It's almost like he spoiled it on purpose, you know, just figuring maybe looking something else and swung late at the fastball.
Well, and that's part of being that pest at the plate, the ability to just continue to spoil until you get something hittable.
Yeah, just did.
Yeah, he's doing what he needs to do. As we say that, though, Mondesi in 392 at-bats coming into today's game. 121 strikeouts. That's a lot of strikeouts.
Yes, it is.
And he hits this one deep down the left field line. Very well hit, but foul.
That's why the slider that missed and had the check swing called a ball, which he didn't swing, but since it's his fastballs, and the more he throws, the better timing Mondesi gets. He's hit 9 home runs, so not a real power hitter. But he keeps throwing the fastball and keeps gearing up a little bit more.
So good battle here.
And you're tempted to throw the slider, but you've already seen him check a swing once and not swing at a pitcher's pitch.
So another 3-2. Here it is. And he got it. Stayed with the fastball and struck him out.
Well, it's easy cheese, 97, 98, long levered. And I think really it's about A.J. Puck continuing to have the confidence to be able to throw the fastball. You see guys early on really try to fool guys.
There's our guy.
Giving him the princess wave. Bye-bye.
It's what's great about that guy's wave is it's subtle, but really condescending.
That's right.
It's like, you're no good. Go sit down. No matter who the hitter is. Could be Trout. Strike, 0-2.
Well, they say the best case scenario is that you have a starter pitch one way and a reliever come in and pitch a different way. Well, that's what the A's are saying, or the Royals are saying. A.J. Puck a little bit different than Brett Anderson.
Good spot on 0-2.
When you saw this Royals team be aggressive.
Puck thought he had it. As he turned his back to home plate after he's called the ball.
This one tapped slowly past Puck. And it's going to be hit for Soler. The big guy runs pretty well. Puck just could not quite get it. So that'll be a hit for Soler of the infield variety.
Well, and this is what we call a tweener. Right in between you're not sure whether or not you can get that ball, or do you need to continue and just move on over to first base, let the defenders behind you go to work. But it's a natural reaction, natural instinct to try to get the out yourself. So you're kind of caught in between that minuscule moment. Got to make a decision. Just came up empty.
Here's Dozier. Dozier has a double and a ground out. Big lead for Soler. I think that's the smallest lead I've ever seen.
Well, he's like
stretch it out. Let's stretch it out a little bit.
Let's have a little conversation with Meadows. I'm a home run hitter. I just got an infield hit. 4-foot lead.
Yeah, that's good. I'm good.
Yeah, it's might as well put his foot on the bag and have a little league lead.
He wants nothing to do with AJ Puck.
And he's getting the time for what?
See, Dallas, if you're standing on the mound and you see that, you're like, yep.
Well, there's a good chance he's going to get 3 or 4 picks over there just to mess with him and see if I can't frustrate him.
Strike 3 called, painted the inside corner.
That's why Puck was disappointed himself that he didn't get the strike on 0-2 to Soler, but even more so when he didn't finish. And that's a great pitch. Inside, you freeze a hitter. Dozier, a very good hitter. Guys like to extend their arms. This time perfectly painted inside corner. Ryan Addington looking right down the barrel of that pitch.
Right there for a strike.
You know, that's a good take by Alex Gordon, because you get that wide wingspan of a pitcher of the height of AJ Puck and where he's throwing from. Just to get an idea of the release point as a hitter.
Gordon tonight is grounded out twice. Good slider.
When it's the same type of arm speeds, the same look coming at you with all of his different offerings. So you get an idea of the deception, a lot of moving parts coming at you.
Went fastball in.
I don't know if that was intentional, though. I mean, it's a good hitter's pitch, especially if the left-handed hitter's opening up, bailing just a little bit. Then a pitch on the inner half of the plate is a good pitch for him to hit.
Hit hard, but Profar's there, and that'll do it. So Soler with the single, nothing else. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Wings are out.
Is that what those are?
Grossman, Fegley, and Simeon here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He's trying to figure out Jorge Lopez, the 26-year-old right-hander. No walks, 4 strikeouts. And just 2 hits. A single by Canna and a single by Brown. Toward right field. McBloom toward the line, and now back near the wall, and he makes the catch. So that is out number 1.
Now batting the catcher.
The Yankees won tonight. They beat the Angels 8-0. So that is their 99th win. And their magic number is 2. And the Yankees sounds like tomorrow or maybe Thursday, Giancarlo Stanton is going to be back.
Yeah, he almost has to, considering some of the injuries they have. Talkman out.
So that's big news.
Yeah, they'd like to get him back for postseason.
Yeah.
Well, and talking about those injuries, really the ability to fill in for the injuries of the Yankees that have been their Achilles heel. And speaking of Achilles heel, Dellin Betances looks like he's going to be out with an Achilles injury. So a tough break for a bullpen who was really looking to reinforce itself with the return of Dellin Betances.
Severino pitched tonight, so that's big news for the Yankees. He pitched 4 innings through 67 pitches. And they'll try to get him ready for the postseason. Cuthbert has this one, and that's the second out. It's been a season-long struggle for the Yankees to get healthy. They still have Encarnacion out, oblique, Sanchez out, groin. You figure to get those 2 guys back. Hicks is out. We're worried about having Hicks back for the postseason.
How's Jacoby Ellsbury doing?
Ellsbury's still out.
Oh, man.
Not the way I don't think he or the club wanted that thing to shake out.
I think the club. He's got to love it. I mean, to have the record for the most catcher's interferences, you know.
He probably wished he was playing.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Club would love to have him be playing. But Marcus last night on 3-0 hit a home run to right center field. Things look good for the Athletics. Early 4 runs, but they saw him do it last night. Would he do it again?
And that one not close.
It's like Lopez said, he's definitely not going to do it against me.
Well, that's wonderful in theory, but you've got some boppers coming up behind him.
Yeah.
And that's what makes what Marcus Semien has done all season long so important. When you have that kind of threat at the top of the lineup, the big fellas coming behind him really leave you no room for error. Tough waters to navigate here for Lopez.
Matt Chapman, a fly ball to right and a line out to third. Shallow left, Gordon coming in. And Gordon has it. So the 2-out walk, the A's can do nothing with it, and we are on to the 7th inning. 1-0 Kansas City.
Still up.
Here's McBroom leading things off in the top of the 7th against Puck. Puck, a couple of strikeouts in the 6th, gave up an infield hit.
The biggest problem for the A's right now is Jorge Lopez. They've done nothing against him.
Led off the 5th with a double, and he scored. Goes to right field near the line. Grossman over there. Grossman fair territory. Has it.
They'll make lifelong memories at the ballpark during the final regular season homestand of 2019. Kids 12 and younger can experience the rush of a postseason push. Purchase 1 regularly priced ticket and get 2 kids tickets for free. Don't miss out on the opportunity to create long-lasting memories with the whole family this September. To purchase your tickets, visit athletics.com/family, and encourage you to do so because following tonight there's only 4 remaining at the Coliseum.
Fastball first strike to Cuthbert. Hard to believe, just 4 home games left in the regular season after tonight.
And they are important games.
Yep, yes they are.
Every game is important.
They get a little more important as each inning goes.
Yeah.
Grossman grabs this one, 2 outs.
Notice that too, huh?
Yeah, just started to feel that.
Yeah. You look on the board and your club's doing nothing hitting wise.
Indians won earlier. The Rays are beating the Dodgers 1-0 in the 5th inning. How about Ray, the National League wild card?
Yeah.
tonight, the Nats, the #1 seed, won. The Cubs, the #2 seed, lost. The Brewers, 1 game behind the Cubs coming into today, won.
Yep.
So look at that.
Huh.
Cubs and the Brewers, bitter rivals,
Yeah.
tied for the second wild card spot, trailing Washington by a game and a half. Canna over there in a nice inning. 6-pitch inning for A.J. Puck. 7th inning stretch time coming up. 1-0 Kansas City. Time now for the Indeed player resume. Matt Olson in the month of September. It's the month you want to turn it up, carry your team. Well, that's exactly what Olson is doing. 7 home runs, 17 RBIs, 6 doubles, 14 runs scored, all in 15 games this month. And I think it's important too, Ray, what he's doing this month and what Marcus Semien is doing this month. Matt Chapman struggled a little bit in the month of September,
right.
so they picked him up.
Absolutely. And that's what you want your teammates to do, and they have done that, and no better time to do it than right now.
First pitch to Olson, a curve high from Jorge Lopez. Lopez, the pitch count at 78. His high in pitches this year is 95. That was a couple of starts ago. Got a pretty good feel for everything tonight, it looks like.
Yeah. Soria back.
Soria up.
8th inning last night, and looks like the 8th inning tonight. Let's take it with a lead.
Lopez has gotten ahead of guys all night long. 15 for 22 first pitch strikes.
Center field and hit a ton. And that baby's gone.
Wow. Wow. Did you see where it landed?
Estate, folks. Location, location, location. And this one right down Broadway. Pack your bags. All aboard. Next stop, Pound Town.
Lopez said, I can't believe it. How about his center fielder just didn't even move?
Oh, it went above section. Oh, and Canna gets hit.
That's all right. It's a 1-1 game. He's not throwing at him. That's not because of that. That's because the ball got away. Maybe he shook up because of the way far as the ball went. This is a 2-1 fastball, and this is the 17th of September. This ball is absolutely crushed. Sean Manaea, I think that says it all.
Well, the faces, yeah. All the faces.
Yeah.
See Pinder?
Yeah.
So 8th home run this month, and it landed above the section, the suite that's above the Holy Toledo sign. And then about 3 rows behind that.
I'm not sure they even charge folks to sit in those seats.
That's unbelievable.
There's the Holy Toledo. There's the suite.
That's the suite, and that section above, that's the treehouse section, isn't it? Well, they got a souvenir they probably didn't expect. That ball was blistered over the suites. That's the suite there, center field, and that is one of the longest ever here. I mean, we've seen them go into the suites to the left, maybe above the suites, but man.
Jacob Barnes starts to throw. So we had a new ball game here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and now the A's have a runner at first.
How many times has Canna been hit now? Whew. That was first pitch after the home run. That's, I mean, when it's 1-1 and you're trying to score runs, you'll take one for the team. Easy for me to say, but Matt Olson
That was the 16th time.
Let's take a look at it. The anatomy of a long ball. 110 miles an hour off the barrel of Matt Olson. 450 feet away. 27-degree launch angle. 450 feet away because Mountain Davis got in the way.
StatCast AI powered by AWS. Yeah, that baby was headed for the Caldecott Tunnel, I think.
Yeah, you know, I think of before they put Mount Davis in, you'd have the ivy going against the wall. But Mount Davis has stopped a few. But to have the Oakland Hills, the site in center field, and to the concourse, that ball clearly would have gone above. You'd think pulling it, yes, but it shows the power of his swing going straightaway center.
And that one's hit toward the gap. This is going to work, folks. Canna digging for third. Matty Williams waving him home. And the A's take the lead.
And that's why the hit by pitch is okay, because it gives you a chance to have a runner on, and you get a breaking ball that just spun. And while the young man has not hit a home run, these shots like this for Seth Brown, you'll take as many as you can get. Ball hit high, up on the wall, and the biggest thing is Mark Canna could see, knew it was going to be there, and he allowed Matt Williams to send him without any hesitation. So Mark Canna's T-shirt tonight gets hit, and he scores the go-ahead run.
So a couple of hits tonight for Seth Brown. That one's a big one. So the A's have the lead 2-1. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. So pitching change. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. So lead, dramatic fashion. Olson a homer, and then Brown with the big double. So Jorge Lopez, who stymied the A's for the first 6 innings, but things happen quickly here in the 7th. So the new pitcher is Jacob Barnes. Barnes' 29th appearance. He's made 1 start. And now the A's will look to tack on a run. Chris Davis hits for the 3rd time.
It's amazing. You can go along so smoothly as a pitcher, and all of a sudden you give up a ball that just travels and keeps going, and then you implode. Things just don't work for you. And for the A's to be able to come through with a homer hit batter, RBI double, they'll take it, take the lead.
Strike on the inside corner.
You're right, they just need to add on as much as possible.
If you're Lopez, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, this all happened in a matter of 3 pitches.
Right.
Long ball hit by pitch, and then the blow that did him in, the double. How quickly things can turn.
Looked like a cross-up, Ray. You would know best.
Yeah. Well, whenever a catcher does this, I mean, Denny did a good job thinking, whoops, took it off the heel of his glove and kept the ball close enough to him instead of it being a wild pitch. And I just wonder if they checked last night on the cross up when catcher was given a pass ball on one Meloria. That might not have been. All the difficulties with runners at second base. Catchers will tell you when it's a cross-up. I have no catchers who forgot what they called.
Good in there.
I was not one of them. I had a pretty good idea, but I've seen catchers. They go, I thought I called something else. Yeah, okay.
That was a nice block.
Yeah. No, this is just put your body in front of it. This ball bounced so far out in front of home plate, and Denny just, I don't know whatever the conversation he had, but maybe the pitcher was angry with him for telling him crossed it up. Big cow.
Swing and a miss. Came right at him with a fastball, and it's 2-2. Chris Davis.
Well, we saw Lopez have some success with a very similar approach. Just right at you, really no fooling around. Now here with 2 strikes. See if he stays out of the strike zone.
And held on by the catcher, Dini. So Davis strikes out. That's the first out here in the 7th.
Well, it's just a challenge fastball, and basically the swing prior to this one would indicate that why not come back with the same pitch. And he did, and he got the strikeout. It's a pretty good fastball.
Here's Profar. He would love to get Seth Brown in.
Well, so far in this half inning, Dini with a couple of blocks, one the cross up, and then the one way out in front. It could have very easily had Brown at third, infield playing in with a couple of opportunities. Another.
The Dodgers take the lead over the Rays.
They didn't wait till the 9th.
2-1 in the bottom of the 5th. One 1-0 to Profar. 2-0 to Profar.
And I think it's these game situations, while it might not be an opponent that you will see potentially in the postseason, stringing these types of at-bats together late in a ball game, leverage scenarios, sort of preparing yourself for that second season that you're after.
Good take, and now it's 3-0.
Heightened sense of awareness during each and every at-bat during the postseason, nothing given away. So when you see guys start to work pitchers deep in the ball game, string together those at bats like we talk about, run production.
A 3-0 pitch right on the outside corner to Profar. So a home run by Matt Olson, a long home run. His 35th of the year, tied the game 2 batters later. Brown's double gave the A's the lead. Profar hits it very hard. Merrifield's going to throw to third, and that's a bad idea. Wow. Absolutely no idea why Merrifield would have done that.
I'm going to take a look at it, but I agree with you. You know, it's one thing, but he was deep. They'll sway him on the phone. Brown running hard. This is one you don't take for granted, that it's going to be one that you can get to the bag. And I think he's safe all the way. I don't even think they'll take a chance on that one. That's a play that if the throw's on the bag, it's a great play because he's probably out, but the throw was not on the bag. It's to the inside.
And not only is that throw not on line, but a heck of a job by Seth Brown to slide towards the backside of third base here. You can see Mondesi has to reach across his body, and if Seth Brown goes into the bag head on, or straight on, excuse me, he might have even given him a shot there, but a heads up play on the base pass by the youngster Seth Brown.
So now it's first and third, 1 out.
And you know, the one thing about Seth Brown, he ran hard, almost like he thought it was going to be a base hit to score. and so goes to the outside. But there are guys who assume that the ball is going to be to the second baseman, and they're trotting to third base. They're jogging, and that's why Merrifield makes a good play if that happens. But Brown was not that top of a player, and I think he was running thinking the ball might be in right field and did not look back and was waiting for Matt Williams to tell him what to do.
1-0 to Grossman. Grossman shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and it's 2-0.
Well, you see that play occasionally, but not in that situation.
No, it would not when the out at first base would have been the second
out. Exactly.
I think Merrifield knew it was a mistake.
Yeah. And consider where he was playing too, Cap. I mean, he's playing deep, and that's a long throw for a second baseman.
And now it's 3-0. Well, the A's grinding some at bats in this inning, and more action now. Phil Meyer starts to throw.
Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about. When you find yourself in a postseason scenario, you take advantage of some mistakes. You do not want to give the next at bat away. Do not let up. Continue to apply the pressure.
Strike called. So 3-1 to Grossman, who is bounced out and hit a fly ball to right field.
It's interesting that Robbie Grossman has ambushed a couple of pitchers twice this season, where he has gotten the first pitch, but yet 3-0. Pretty good pitcher's pitch by Barnes on the outside corner, 3-0.
There goes, and the pitch is low, and it's a walk. Bases loaded.
Well, I got some fireworks tonight. The final fireworks show of the season is Saturday, and this time it will be the Evolution of Pop Fireworks Show. It's presented by Lagunitas. You won't want to miss this show with the first pitch at 6:07 p.m. The Evolution of Pop Fireworks Show, part of Fan Appreciation Weekend during the final homestand of the year. Get your tickets at athletics.com. And that's supposed to be a blowout, a huge fireworks show. And Ramon Laureano.
So here comes Laureano to hit.
Mount Laureano.
Yep. So Laureano hitting for Fegley with the bases loaded and 1 out. First pitch right on the outside corner, first strike.
Axe handle bat that Laureano continues to use.
It's blocked by Heaney.
This young man's done a very good job tonight.
He's had his hands full, especially this inning.
Well, now a runner at third. He's done it. It's a good job. And you know, when a catcher does that, as a catcher, you're hoping your hard work and good work pays off. A's are hoping just the opposite. There's the axe handle. You can see the handle. It's the axe. It's supposed to help. Great shot of the end of the bat.
Off the end of the bat, cued foul. Laureano played last night, had a couple of hits. Scored a run, stole a base, had a walk. Slider outside.
If he'd thrown that harder, might have had a chance to get a check swing.
So 2-2. Brown at third, Profar at second, Grossman at first. And he got him. So he did throw it a little bit harder.
Yep.
When it's a continued expansion of the zone. This is just a pitch that Laureano cannot stay on, and it's really not a matter of not picking a pitch to hit. It's a matter of the deception. You said it, Foss. Good velocity, good tilt away.
So 2 outs, 8th man to bat in the inning steps in, and that's Marcus Semien. Marcus is 0 for 2. He walked in the 6th inning. And he drives on the right field. McBroom comes in, makes the catch, goes down to his knees, and that's the 3rd out. A's get 2 runs and take the lead. The first one coming on a booming home run by Matt Olson. Watch where it lands. They scored twice. They lead it 2-1 as we head to the 8th.
Hurry in now for great deals during the Ram Summer Clearance event.
That is a great logo.
Thank you, Monty Moore.
The white shoes.
That's it. That's it.
So the A's lead it 2-1, 8th inning. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Joaquin Soria comes in for the 8th inning. 2 good innings for AJ Puck. Gives up a hit, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. So a 2-1 A's lead. A little bit high to Nick Dini. So there's the changes. Noisy at second, Laureano in right. Murphy, the catcher. High strike call.
Almost identical first pitch. That's why they didn't look at back and say, wait a minute, you called it a ball the first time, and well, it was a 1/4 of an inch lower.
Swing and a miss. So 1-2 with the top of the order to follow. Merrifield and then Mondesi. Curve, got him.
Well, how about that? We've seen it all year long from Soria, the changing of the arm angles. And he must have thought old Dini was bored. Soria invited old Uncle Charlie down to the party. Can I help you, Dini? No, thanks. Just looking.
So 1 away here in the top of the 8th. And now this tough top of the order for the Royals.
Well, it's nice to have an umpire that likes the high strike, and Ryan Addington a couple of strikes, the fastball and then the curveball. Buckled the knees of Dini, gets the call. You're right, top of the order and
toward right field. Routine for Laureano, 2 outs. So Merrifield 0 for 4. Boy, you keep him off the bases. Yeah. You got a pretty good shot against the Royals.
Well, he made a play that was ill-advised, but he stranded Brown at third base. That's what Martins did. A good job, the pitcher, to not allow another run.
Number 27, Alberto Mondesi.
So 2 away. Here's Mondesi. Mondesi 1 for 3. Good pitch moving away from Mondesi.
Pitch he hit to left field last night was a fastball up. That was sinking down and away and opened up. But he just kind of slaps the ball and able to slap it very nicely to the opposite field as he showed last night.
Good pitch right there in the outside corner. 0-2.
Well, staying to the outside, this elevated a little bit and a little bit more, which fortunately threw it on the corner and got the call.
And a nasty breaking ball. Nice inning for Joakim Soria. Couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Dealers. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Royals. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Athletics. Lopez was good, but the A's got to him in the 7th. Brett Anderson went 5, then Puck came in. And Matt Olson with the monster home run. So 2-1, bottom of the 8th. The new pitcher is Heath Philmeyer. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts. Heath Philmeyer, 3rd pitcher of the night. And Liam Hendriks getting ready. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Philmeyer. Bottom kind of dropped out of it.
Yep.
And that one missed inside. So full count. Chapman chased. So Matt Chapman is retired.
Play of the day brought to you by your California Ford dealers. How about Brett Anderson? 5 strong innings. He would give up 1 run on a sac fly, but kept the ball down. A.J. Puck in for 2 innings. A great job as he would give up a hit. And then Joakim Soria retired 3 in a row. Big curveball there, and he struck out Modesty on a curveball. So masters of the mound. They need 1 more. He's warming up the bullpen. That is Liam Hendriks as the skipper Bob Melvin takes a look at who's due up.
First pitch to Olson, called the ball. A home run in the 7th inning. 35th home run of the year for Matt Olson. He's got 86 RBIs.
Some of the best home runs in baseball are the ones that either tie the game or put your team ahead. Well, Matt Olson has done it a few times. Tonight he tied it with a monster home run.
Marcus Semien still leading with 87 RBIs, leading the team.
About the Ram drive of the game. Jump on. Lopez said, I pitched a great game and I do this. Way up above the lower suites, and guys can't believe it. It's like Tim Salmon when Barry Bonds hit the ball in the World Series in '02. He says, I've never seen a ball hit that far. Read his lips. Well, if you guys read their lips with Matt Olson crushing 1.
Now 3-1, so Olson sitting pretty here. Troy with a home run for the Rays to tie up that game. Rays Dodgers in the 6th. So a good ball game there and a good ball game here.
Troy's been big for the Rays. Sure has. Matt Olson thought he had a walk.
So it's a full count. Foul, so it stays full. Lopez went 6+. Barnes finished off the 7th. And now Philmeyer here in the 8th. Very high. headed toward the seats, and it'll be into the seats. So with the shift on Mondesi, he stays at his shortstop spot. It's Dozier that slides over behind second base. Outfield playing very deep. Another foul ball. Bubba Starling's out there somewhere.
Well, he was out that far too, and Olsen hit a ball, and he still wasn't deep enough. The shadows in center field. He's playing no home runs.
So the battle continues.
And based on that last long ball from Matt Olson, he's going to have to find himself in a new zip code.
Yeah.
Hit well to left field. Gordon goes back. Now he stops, comes in a step, and he's got it.
Amazing how far that ball went with just a nice, easy swing. Effortless swing by the big man.
So with 2 outs, here's Canna. Hendricks ready out in the bullpen for the Royals. Top of the 9th, it'll be Soler, Dozier, and Gordon. So a couple of powerful right-handed hitters, and then Gordon, the left-handed hitter. First pitch to Canna, poured in there first strike. Day game tomorrow. It'll be Homer Bailey and Danny Duffy. Duffy, the left-hander. Day off on Thursday, and the Rangers will be here this weekend. Canna tonight, a single, a ground out, and then hit by a pitch. He scored on Brown's double, and his run, the go-ahead run.
Never thought a hit by pitch would be so important in a game, but that one was.
Post pitch. Phil Meyer is wearing the A's white shoes, but we can't say anything about it.
Well, it's Kansas City A's.
Those are crispy.
Ooh. Whew, blinding.
Right out of the box. So are those. Mondesi's got him on as well. So 3-2.
I think the white shoes really came into play in Oakland. I don't know the Kansas City. I think they had the dark shoes.
Did they?
I remember Monty talking about, can you imagine coming out to the Bay Area in the off season before the A's moved here wearing white shoes? Of course, they had the dress shoes in white, and then of course brought out the shoes. There's Reginald Martinez Jackson with the number 9 retired. Mr. October.
Oh, Canna hit by a pitch.
Yeah,
again. They're asking, did he swing?
Saying no.
So Canna for the second time tonight hit by a pitch. 17 times this year it has happened.
Well, if Browning can bring him in again, it'll be worthwhile again.
Now batting left fielder, number 16,
So 3 behind Don Baylor and Jason Kendall.
Yeah, but how many times did Kendall put his elbow in front of a ball?
He never did that. I don't remember anybody in this broadcast booth ever saying that he did that on purpose.
Well, John Lackey. That's John Lackey. John Lackey. He did it to Lackey, and then he charged him, and Kendall dropped him. Well, they got the off-speed pitch. Seth Brown did, and great job of staying back and then driving the ball. And he has done an exceptional job this year, at least since joining the club in Kansas City, where he is. You hit 37 home runs, you start thinking, I got to hit a home run in the big leagues. No way. He has done a good job of just driving the ball.
Tried to hit one there. So Brown with a single and a double. He's 2 for 3 tonight. So he's got 22 hits and 56 at-bats. He'll take it.
Absolutely. Got a pretty bat, too. It's a good looking bat. It's almost like a trophy.
Check swing, foul ball.
Well, trying to decide on whether or not he can pull the hands all the way in. But Seth Brown, just one of a long list of guys tonight, I think, that have shown the ability to put together a quality at bat, continue to battle. It's all part of winning ball games in a variety of fashions, not just reliant upon the long ball, which you got here tonight.
Bounce right back to Phil Meyer. A little underhand to first, and that'll do it for the A's. And we are on to the ninth. Hendricks, the closer, coming in. A's leading 2-1. Matt Olson in the Athletic W. As Liam Hendricks looking for the save, comes in, pumps a fastball by Soler.
Soler doesn't get cheated. I got a breeze on that one. Liam, 71st. Dave Stewart Community Service Award winner. Another award for Liam Hendricks. It's a big out. Actually, a big inning. 3, 4, 5 in the batting order for the Royals.
Toward right field, playable for Loriano, 1 away. Soler reaching for that one a little bit.
It's what you like to see too, because if he really swings and swings to hit it that right direction, he has the power to take it out to right field.
Hunter Dozier.
So with 1 out, here's Hunter Dozier. That's a power, 26 home runs.
You notice how he's old school with the batting glove on the lower hand and top hand no batting glove. Don't see that much anymore.
Well, just like another Hunter we know.
That's right.
Hunter Pence.
Yep.
1 batting glove, arm sleeve.
Add back.
And that one right there, 98 miles an hour.
Well, no fooling around here for the Mad Aussie. 98 Main Street. Let's see how far.
On deck is Gordon. And he blew him away. 99 miles an hour. Came right at him with high octane. 2 outs.
Well, maybe a little bit of redemption from last night. He probably did not take it very kindly last night when he not only blew the save but got the loss. So, about that.
That was it right there. Strikeout number 115. Most strikeouts in a season by a reliever in Athletics history.
Well, also the most by a pitcher born in Australia, who already has that record. But you'd figure that he will pass Raleigh. Let's hope it's tonight.
He pumps a fastball in for a strike to Gordon. Gordon is 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times. Nasty slider, and it's 0-2.
Well, they went fastballs, 3 of them to Soler, 3 fastballs to Dozier, the first slider. And this crowd is loud.
0-2 pitch. Slider. Did he go? Yes, he did.
Tied and broke the record in 2 batters.
So Liam Hendricks, a couple of strikeouts in the 9th. He has a nice quiet 9th inning as he picks up his 23rd save of the year, and the A's bounce back after a tough loss last night. They get a big home run from Matt Olson, and they defeat the Kansas City Royals. So rubber game of the series tomorrow afternoon here at the Coliseum. Time of game was 2 hours and 32 minutes.
What?
And the attendance was 14,992. Final score tonight, the Athletics 2 and the Royals 1. Time now for A's Post-Game Live, presented by Toyota. Let's head out to the Treehouse and Jim Kozimor.